Yeah, she said you log online, but.
Who is Stan? Who is that?
I don't know if that's Miss
Stan?
Stansberry. That might be Miss Stansberry. Okay, Miss Dowdy's here.
All right, we'll get started. We're gonna have to do a first meeting, because we don't have four. Yeah. Yeah. You ready? Okay. Less than 5 minutes away, we're gonna get started. Thanks for coming this evening, everyone. Thank you. All right, let me know when you're ready, Mr. Scotty.
Okay, the time is 6:42, Council President.
Okay, the time is 6:42. The regular council meeting for Tuesday, October the 18th is called to order. Go ahead, Madam Clerk.
Okay, Councilor Bahoviak is excused. Councilor Stevenson,
Present.
Councilor Gowdy. Present. Councilor Smith is about 5 minutes away. He will be here shortly. And Councilor Martin,
President,
you have a quorum.
let's proceed.
Remarks of public on agenda items only. You have a 2-minute time limit.
Speaking in reference to the agenda items, some of it is so discombobulated, and I have stood before this council in a number of times and stated that you should have one subject matter and clearly stated one subject matter. Then you have some legislation in here. I just I don't understand it. An amendment to ordinance number 1420, authorizing the use of a portion of the city of East Cleveland local physical recovery fund and authorizing the mayor to accept. I'm not just going to read it all. That is so discombobulated. I don't quite understand that. So I don't know whom are writing the legislation, but they need to check themselves or whomever is writing this. This is just totally blatantly violate the charter. The charter says one subject matter and clearly stated. There are 4 or 5 things in there which should be 2 different pieces of legislation on one part, whereas authorizing the mayor to accept money, etc. All of that is discombobulated in that resolution.
Which one are you talking about?
Resolution 6.
That's the one that was by the ARPA law firm specialist. That is in
6 to 20, 6 to 20. And then you have another one. Yes. Then you have another one down here. Right. When you get to them, I'll just come back later. But
The law firm broke in 6022?
yes.
and secondly, you got amendment, placed in committee, brought back out of committee, and it comes before council 2 or 3 times. That dies, and you bring it back to a new number, not the same number. So a lot of it just come out.
Thank you, Mr. Lee. Is anyone else? Let's proceed, Madam Clerk.
Reports and announcements of the mayor, 3 minutes.
No report. All right, let's proceed, Madam Clerk.
Okay, receipts of communication and petitions, there are none at this time. Next is minutes to be approved. Last time, Councilor Bohoviac wanted it brought forward to this one. I think maybe we hold off until, Councilor Bohoviac is here.
September sixth,
Yes,
let's proceed then.
okay. Reports from council committees, 3 minutes only.
We'll start with Councilwoman Corinne Stevenson.
No report at this time.
Okay, Councilwoman, Juanita Gowdy. Council Ward 2. Health and Safety, Nathaniel Martin. We had we had a promotion last week. A new, police chief, Brian Gerhard, I got his name correct? And we have some officers, you wanna?
Yes.
Yeah, would you say something about that?
Yes, so thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Maybe 2 Fridays ago, we had the privilege of swearing in and bringing and raising up different safety forces, both police and fire. I would say there were well over 20 people whose positions were elevated. Everyone deserved it. Everyone deserved a round of applause, particularly in the fire, who do an outstanding job, particularly in the police, who do an outstanding job amidst the allegations and all of the negative press that they have received of late. One of the proudest things I can say, and as I look across the audience, there are a lot of 30+ year residents. Our new police chief, Brian Gerhart, was born at Erin Road Hospital, grew up in this city. Our new fire chief, David Worley, grew up in this city. I'm not sure if he was born here, but he grew up in this city. His mother still lives and is with us in this city. It is a proud moment for the city of East Cleveland, as many of the people who were born and raised here have returned home to leadership positions. And as we look to revitalize this community, I've always said it's going to take someone who's from this community, truly understand this community, to help revitalize it. We can't expect someone else to revitalize our community. So thank you for that.
All right, I'll add on health and safety that it's been discussed about chasing. And the new police chief is in on that. I'll wait for this. Thank you.
For the record, Councilor Smith is
Thank you.
here.
And the spirit is that we have issues here. Some of our issues will be settled in the court. Some of them will not. But he's talking about getting good police officers and changing his mindset of just chasing for it because it happens. And I just want to say, from just a common sense standpoint, that there's no perfect police department. Every police department got that 1 or 2% that's gonna have issues. So I hope everybody does okay. Everybody will have their day in court. So that concludes.
Elaborate.
Yeah, go ahead.
To add to that, it is our job to provide the police with the necessary equipment, state-of-the-art equipment that will allow to curtail some of those chases. And thanks to council, right? We brought in the license plate readers. Thanks to council, passed legislation, which also allow for new state-of-the-art body cams, right? Thanks to city council, we also brought in the projectiles so that they can tag a car and then follow a car without having to be behind it. So we're doing our part as legislators and as elected officials to help curtail some of that. So I just wanted to make that known.
Thank you, Mayor. Ernest Swift is in attendance. Ernest Swift, you want to make a report from your committee, please?
Thank you, sir. My apologies to everyone. The daughter issue. I chair the Personnel and Appointments Committee. I've been waiting for our great clerk, Ms. Peters, to retire, and I don't want to tell a fib, so I say that we still do have a piece of legislation tabled in the Personnel and Appointments Committee. So we'll be sending out the information on our next Personnel and Appointments Committee meeting in the next 24 hours. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's proceed, Madam Clerk.
Now we're going down to legislation.
Yes, we in legislation.
Okay, resolution 3322, a resolution authorizing the mayor to sell certain inoperable surplus vehicles through auction, scrap dealers, or to sell the complete lot of salvage city vehicles through competitive bidding. Since this is sponsored by, Councilor Bohoviac, and she's not here, Councilor Smith or Councilor Martin, you are on that committee. This is a second read, sir.
Okay, Brother Swift, you want to sponsor this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
I'd like to make a motion to adopt the sponsored resolution. I'd like to make a motion to adopt resolution 33-22. Move for its adoption.
Is there a second to the motion? Is there a second?
Oh,
Yeah. Move secondly, we can record the discussion.
Okay, I'll make a second, but I didn't.
Okay. It's moved and seconded by Councilwoman Juanita Gotti. I'll open up for discussion. Go ahead.
Okay, do we have the code and is it open to the public?
You say the codes, what do you mean?
To the whatever gonna be auctions, you know, like the book codes and stuff like that. Is it open to the public?
Yes,
Okay,
And yes.
what's the gonna see? That's.
those should be in there. I want to say we supplied those,
a few weeks ago.
yeah, a few weeks ago.
There were
I
three,
mean, it's not.
This is one with just 3
there
vehicles.
were 3 vehicles, one service. Put me on there, one service.
One, sir, I think it was a fire truck and another one that got in an accident. And these vehicles are just taking up space that we need. So we actually do need to move these vehicles.
Is there any other discussion on 3322?
Yes, there's
Yeah,
other
yeah.
discussion
Yes,
because
please, go ahead.
3322 is a continuation of us trying to get rid of cars without selling them to the public. If you're going to get rid of these cars, all we got was 3 titles. This legislation has a or in it. Okay, and the or says that they can get rid of all of the vehicles. So if you're getting or to sell the complete lot of salvage city vehicles through competitive bidding, then we need a list of those salvage vehicles because we have never seen that list. All we saw was 3 titles. So this is misleading at best.
Yes, you may respond to it.
So if I'm understanding the question of the statement, right? Just so that we're all clear, there are 3 vehicles that we are looking for. There are
Then the or should be gone.
There are 3 vehicles that this legislation is speaking about, and you have those 3 vehicles identified. They will either be sold individually or as a lot, and that's all that this is saying.
That's not what this says. That's what it needs to say, if that's what your intent is. But that is not what this means or states. This is not clear, and I would like it to be clear.
So what is it that we need to do with this, Councilwoman Stevenson?
You need to make it clear that if the or is for these 3 vehicles and not the entire lot of salvage city vehicles as it is stated here. This states that this is for the entire lot, which could mean everything that's in that tow yard and beyond. So I'm just asking for clarity
Okay, can you provide some clarity, Mayor?
Yes.
in writing.
Please, stay with me, council. Please stay with me. There are 3 vehicles that are in question with this. Over the years, You guys have been with us now for at least 2 or 3 years. We come to you, legislation reads this way, and we give you a list of vehicles. There are 3 vehicles to be sold here. That's it.
Then that's what this needs to say, 3 vehicles.
It's in the body
Well,
of the
it's
legislation.
in the bottom end.
But it should be in the preamble of the legislation, not in the body. In the preamble, so we know clearly what we are doing here.
So you want to, you would like to remove the or, and you
It
want to
just-
replace
it
it
just
to
specifically
3?
say-
If it's 3 vehicles, say it's 3 vehicles.
Hold on a second. Before, that's just hear from law director, can you, go ahead.
I guess the question is, when they're saying, I think the issue is, are they saying we're selling these salvage city vehicles individually or as a lot to competitive bidders? I think that's the clarification. It's not so much that it's encompassing vehicles in a tow yard, which I don't think is what this means by city salvage vehicles. I think what they're saying is you're either going to sell them individually or together to a competitive bidder. So that's what it means by lot.
The number 3 is not here. So when I read this, I can assume, and anyone walking down the street can assume that you're talking about every car in that salvage lot. And that is what the problem is. Make it clear. It's very simple. Just put, you selling 3 cars, put the number 3 in there and be done. Take the or, you're talking about the complete lot.
We can amend this, put the 3 in. That's it. That's it. I'm not gonna keep dealing with this. Give us the language, Ms. Stephen, well, how do you?
Inoperable surplus vehicles through auction, scrap deal.
3 inoperable. Okay, are we all right? Is that okay? That sounds okay with you?
No, it has to say,
What?
or to still complete lots of the 3 vehicles. So what
Okay,
you're doing.
we'll go with that then.
Okay, read it again for the record. And here it is, Tracy. Read it for the record.
But do it have to, wait, no, we have to do the motion to amend it, right?
Yeah, we gotta have a motion in a minute, but let's hear it first before we do that.
Let me rescind my motion.
Okay,
We can't have 2 motions on top of my motion.
you rescind your motion.
Rescind my motion to,
You rescind
sponsor and adopt resolution 33-22.
as amended.
No, I'm voting to amend.
Amend it,
I
okay.
got that. Voting to amend, then we can get the new language, then I will vote to, I will sponsor.
Okay, let's hear the new language. then. Or Heather, you give us the new language.
A resolution authorizing the mayor to sell certain inoperable surplus vehicles through auction to scrap dealers or to sell the complete lot of 3 salvage city vehicles.
Is that okay with you, Ms. Stevenson? Is that okay with the council? Okay, all
Now,
right, now,
Hey,
The motion.
I would like to make a motion to sponsor resolution number 33-22 and move for its adoption.
no, as amended, as amended, as amended.
I'd like to make a motion to sponsor resolution number 33-22 as amended and move for its
Is
adoption.
there a second? Okay, I read the amendment, state your amendment, Tracy, you have it?
A resolution authorizing the mayor to sell 3 certain inoperable surplus vehicles through auction to scrap dealers or to sell the complete lot of 3 salvage city vehicles through competitive bidding.
Thank you. Yes, any more discussion?
And it's open to the floor.
And okay, we can put that in, open to the public. Okay, call the vote.
Counselor
Are we
Stevenson?
voting on the amendment now? Yes.
Counselor Stevenson? Counselor Gotti? Counselor Smith?
Okay.
Counselor Martin?
Yay. Okay, now we vote for the 33 as amended. I mean, yeah, 33. Yeah.
I'd like to make a motion to sponsor resolution number 33-22 and move for its adoption as amended.
Thank you. Okay, call the
I
roll.
need a second.
Second by Gauss. Call the roll, Tracy.
Counselor Stevenson said second first.
Okay, Stevenson, second. Thank you. Thank
Counselor
you.
Stevenson? Counselor Gotti? Counselor Smith?
Yay.
Counselor Martin?
Yay,
It passes.
it passed. Let's go to the next one.
Ordinance number, okay, and for this one, we do have Keisha Chambers online.
Right.
And, Mr. Guinto, also, that can speak on this if there's any questions. Ordinance number 6022. This is an amendment to ordinance number 1420, authorizing the use of a portion of the city of East Cleveland local fiscal recovery funds and authorizing the mayor to accept an award of $2,913,760 from the city of Cleveland Division of Water Suburban Water Main Renewal Program for water line replacement to support the engineering design and replacement of 5,900 feet of water lines in the city along Euclid Avenue, approving the expenditure of $2,440,463 in funds by the city.
Okay, I'm gonna pass gavel to the Vice President Ernest Smith. Okay.
Ordinance number 60-22-9.
Well, this is the first read.
No, I like to amend this to emergency. We need to pass it before the 25th, and I don't think there's anyone opposed to this. We blew $1 million by not passing a year ago.
You
So I
have to
like,
make sure,
but I like to amend this to an emergency. Can I do that?
you can, but you gotta make sure you have the votes, otherwise you'll
I think
kill
I
it.
have the votes. I don't think anyone's opposed to this. You're not?
No.
All right, let's go, we'll have the first reading.
This is the, oh, no. So this is the older one, this is updated.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Because the amount had changed. Is Keisha Chambers on the line, Tracy?
Yes, Keisha?
Keisha,
Yes, I'm here.
you say something about this, please?
Yes, so this is the Euclid water line replacement project. Same one that we presented last year, right at the beginning of COVID. So at that point, prices changed and we were not able to secure that bid at the time. So now, fast forward, the prices changed because at the time when we were first bidding the project, we were ahead of the ODOT resurfacing. Now that ODOT has completed their resurfacing, as we do any water main replacement work now, we will have to replace that pavement. And that is why the cost has increased. And we are anticipating using ARPA funds, and I believe the law firm has put that in writing that those funds can be applied to this project. The reason why Councilman Martin mentioned making this an emergency is because this bid does have an expiration. Per the bid policies, the contractor is only required to hold the bid for 60 days. And the 60th day will be October 25th.
The question, Ms. Chambers, is why are we getting it now? I think that's when the council people ask.
I made the assumption, I assumed that you had already received this and this has already been through a couple of reads. So I'm sorry that I was not aware of how it has flowed through council. But I thought that I had came before council previously to discuss the legislation that was submitted. The price changed, and I will admit that was an error on my part and not including that pavement cost. So that is why I reached out to Tracy today. Tracy reached out to the law firm and we made an adjustment to the price, and that added the around 400,000 for the pavement that would need to be replaced to accompany this project.
Okay, I'm gonna hear from Councilman Ernest Smith.
I was just gonna agree with it that she did come before us. On this subject.
Now, we, what, a year ago? Yes,
I
Tracy.
can shed a little light.
Yeah, would you please? Because you know what? Go ahead, go ahead.
Committee, and in executive committee, about the preamble, Councilor Bohoviac at that time asked if ARPA funds could be used, and then she stated that maybe we could get them from the state. So we had to take time out to find out if we could in fact get ARPA funds from the state, but they're not available yet. There's no applications. So then we had to send it. It was brought up that, the preamble was too convoluted, so we had to break it out. And then, since ARPA funds were being used, it had to be sent to, the law firm of Bricker, who specializes in ARPA funds, to make sure that everything was written correctly. They also checked to make sure that the bidding process was done properly and everything else in order to use ARPA funds. So that was the little bit of a holdup there.
Speak.
First, go ahead, Missy. Go ahead. You have the floor.
I requested information that I didn't see. So going through that information, looking for the information. There's no information in here about when your bid came into this city, but all of the documents that are with that part of it here, keep the same with the first stuff, but the other stuff is still not. So I still got half the document, half the next.
I'm sorry, I missed the councilwoman's comment. I heard her say she still doesn't have something. Can somebody let me know what she is referencing?
She will articulate what she's missing. What are you missing, Missy?
Not your documents, but I stated to them that your documents are here. You have no documents from the city that represent the bid coming in, who signed off on it, and all those things that are supposed to say, I don't have.
She doesn't have what again? I'm sorry. Is somebody gonna repeat that for me?
Not your stuff, so.
She says she doesn't have something from the city. You need to hear this, teacher.
Council President,
Yes.
may I please speak?
That's Counselor Mahovia.
Oh, go ahead, Ms. Rovak.
Yeah, this was something I strongly pushed for to make sure that we could get this through in a prompt manner, and also that we could use the ARPA funds so that it didn't have to deplete our general funds. I don't have the information in front of me, and I hope I don't start coughing in the middle of this, but when we reviewed it, I felt very confident that we had all the information that we needed to assure that we could get this done and do it in a proper manner and make sure that, sorry, and make sure that everything was, all the i's were dotted and the t's crossed. So it is my request, since I can't be there, to be one of the 4 people to do, to make it pass as an emergency, but this is my personal support for passing it today as an emergency.
I don't know if I can accept your vote on Zoom. So we
No,
got a
you
problem.
can't accept my vote,
Yeah.
but it's a request that the 4 of you who are there, please pass this as an emergency. I would do that if I were there.
We have one council, unless she changed her mind, she has unread this. What is your pleasure at this point, Ms. Stevens? She says she doesn't have all the information, and we need to pass this by the 25th. So that's actually next week. And if we do.
Is there something, I'm sorry, is there some information that I can expedite to the councilwoman?
Let's try. What,
I don't think.
She said it's the city's information.
she was talking about the city's information, teacher Chambers. The city, something you want from the administration. Go ahead, man, Randy King.
So when you talk to teacher, you are talking to the city. She is the city. You
Does
have
not
her
say
for the
she
most
does not sign off on the bid specs when they come in. She is not a part of that process. We have to do the Department of Development. That's the part of information that exists, the process that occurred in development.
Hold on a second. All right.
Okay, we'll get done before.
Okay, all right, Ms. Lovian, Can you hear me?
Yes.
What we're gonna do, because we're not gonna spend a lot of time. We're gonna have a special meeting, we're gonna have a first meeting today. We're gonna have a special meeting Monday to pass it, so we get it passed for the 20. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead. Mhm. Yes, the 10 days, exactly 10 days. Right. Yeah, so the day is the 18th. That was my concern.
If you do it on the
Oh.
24th, it goes into effect immediately as soon as you pass it, as an emergency.
It goes in effect, hold on a second, go ahead. Tracy.
If you pass an emergency, it goes into effect
Immediately,
immediately. The next Tuesday is the 25th. but
what
you
about
could
this
also-
10-day thing that you're talking about?
There's no 10 days.
There's no 10 days, not on emergency, not on emergency.
No, that's for first and second reading.
That's what first, so what we're gonna do, since one of our council persons, he has that privilege and that right, has an unread this, we're gonna have a special meeting Tuesday, what date is that?
25th?
25th. So do we need to
Just
do a
like
first, do we need to do a first reading now?
No,
No,
you can do
you
an
don't have to.
emergency.
Do an emergency. Go ahead. Right, got up to 25th. That's
The same day.
Yeah, or you can. You can have a
Right.
meeting any day this
If we
week.
do an
as long as
emergency-
council
Do it
votes.
tomorrow. How do you do it tomorrow?
Right.
How do you do it tomorrow?
Well, she's not sure she's having a. Okay,
Hold it. Mr. Mahoney, go ahead.
Sure that if we ask our consultant, call contractors, let them know this will be expected to pass that night, they will get $600. Close of business day is 5 o'clock. 7, get it done by 7.
So are we talking, council, are we talking Monday or Tuesday?
whichever day.
Let's do it Monday. Let's do it Monday. Yes. Ms. Mahoney, can you hear me?
I hear you. I couldn't hear Mayor King.
Okay, he was telling us about this, but if we do the emergency, it doesn't apply. Can you be here Monday so we can pass this? We talk
Yeah,
about-
that should work.
Special meeting.
Right, right. A lot of money. And we blew it last year messing around with it, but went up on us almost a million.
So Monday at 6:30.
Monday is 6:30, good time for you?
That's fine.
Okay, so we'll have a meeting Monday at 6:30.
Yeah.
We'll put this as an emergency.
We put it as emergency, we just move on. I thank you for your patience, thank you, Keisha Chambers,
Yep,
we're gonna pass it Monday. Okay?
okay. Fingers crossed. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, let's move on.
The next one is resolution number 6122.
All right,
This is the resolution approving the adoption of the countywide all natural hazard mitigation plan for Cuyahoga County 2022 through 2027 update. Second reading.
okay, you do have the, gravel.
Resolution number 61-22 bears the name of Council President Nathaniel Martin. What is the pleasure?
I sponsor resolution 5122 and move for its adoption. Okay,
You have a second?
Second.
You have a motion and second.
yeah, I'm gonna ask the mayor to say something about this, please.
Resolution approving countywide natural hazard mitigation. County. Keisha James, are you still with us? So,
Keisha?
No, she's not there.
Keep going, all right. Okay.
yeah, this comes.
This is county thing, I knew.
No, this is the emergency plan. Mayor.
Right, that's the emergency
Yeah,
plan by the
this is
county.
work in tandem with the county, it's the emergency plan.
Okay. We talked about this at our last meeting, the county does this, and, it's like our emergency kind of thing for if something happens, we were all right with it. So, I don't have the specific, but we were all right. Okay.
And these things
Uh-huh.
should be county.
Right, this is a county
They
thing.
should be disaster.
Disaster plan,
Those plans should come from.
and the county has a disaster plan. Right. Okay, any other discussion on 6122? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, did I ask for, did I get,
Ask for the vote.
yeah, did we move it or did we get
Well,
a second?
Yep, you. I got it.
You got a second? Okay, call the roll.
Counselor Stevenson? Counselor Gowdy?
Yeah.
Counselor Smith?
Yeah.
Counselor Martin?
Yes, pass.
Passes. Resolution number 6222. This is a resolution consenting to an MOU with the Ohio Department of Transportation in order to have its director authorize the city's participation in the municipal bridge inspection program. This is a second read.
Okay, I see that I'll take the gavel back. It's sponsored by Patricia Bohoviac, so I need someone else to sponsor this.
I like the total sponsor.
This is the second reading too, right?
And I like the vote.
Sponsored, who sponsored? You? Okay, you sponsored it, it's, a resolution consenting to an MOU, the Ohio Department of Transportation in order to have its director authorize the city participation in the municipal bridge inspection program. That's important. It's been moved in second. Any discussion?
I believe, Dr. Kennedy, ecstatic about this, hopefully.
She worked diligently on this with the people from.
Ms. Bohoviac, you still with us?
Yes, I am.
I would
This
like to
is-
say- Okay,
This is a very straightforward thing. It only applies to bridges that cars and trucks go over and not the train bridges that are still an ongoing or an ongoing project to figure out who's responsible for which bridge and how to get those dealt with. But this is very straightforward. The ODOT comes and looks and we don't have anything that anyone has been complaining about. It's the others that are of a concern still, and I'm still working on. But this is, they pay for it, they look at it, they take care of it, it's fine.
okay, this is the second reading, is it not,
Yes.
Madam Clerk? Right,
Yes, it is.
okay, let's call the roll.
Counselor Stevenson?
It's been moved to properly second, right? Moved by. And I,
They're in the middle of our-
who seconded, who seconded?
Point of order.
Yes, I hear you, Mr. What? Okay,
Yeah.
okay, I had a question on the motion, go ahead.
The motion was to adopt, sponsor and adopt by Counselor Smith. Counselor Gowdy wanted to co-sponsor.
Okay, who seconded it?
Counselor Gowdy.
Okay, let's move it.
Okay, Counselor Stevenson? Okay. Counselor Gowdy?
Yeah.
Counselor Smith?
Yeah.
Counselor Martin?
Yeah,
It passes.
it passed, let's move to the next one.
Resolution number 6322, resolution authorizing the mayor to accept a $50,600 renovation of a basketball court at Superior donated by the Sparkling Ices Cheers to You beautification program. This is a second read.
Councilor Martin, resolution number 63-22 bears your name. What is your pleasure?
I'll sponsor resolution 6322 and move for its adoption.
Second, please. The sponsor and second, do we have any discussion?
Yeah, Mayor, you wanna say something about this is the gift? Go ahead.
This is a gift. I was talking about the gift. This is one of what we're hoping to receive many grants towards outside exercising for youth and adults. And we're proud that we have this. It is ahead of finalizing the bid and getting it awarded and getting it started next spring.
Next spring?
Yeah, I will defer to Counselor Gowdy, 'cause I know she's really excited about it, and it is
Go,
getting
Gowdy, go.
her award.
Yeah, yes, I'm very excited. I'm very excited. It's a big need. It's progress. We're moving forward and we're working on getting it done. So the people can absolutely for themselves, for the art and whatever. You have to do it. I'm for it.
And I'm excited about it too. It's a gift. We're blessed to get this. And I was riding down Superior. It looks much better. You can fly down Superior. Oh, that should be right, or maybe right. So it's being paid, okay? So this is good news for the city. Okay. Any other discussion? Okay, Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Counselor Howdy? Counselor Smith? Counselor Martin?
Yay!
Motion passes.
Thank you, Pat.
The next three resolutions are all first reading. So resolution number 6722, a resolution accepting the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission and authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the county fiscal officer for tax year 2023 to meet the submission deadline of September 30th, 2022.
Okay, go to the next one.
Resolution.
We don't, it's the first reading, if you want to say something, go ahead. Okay. Okay, I'll accept the motion. You want to amend this to an emergency? I accept it. Let's do it.
In fact,
To amend it for an emergency?
Yeah, would you do that? 6722. Take it back. Go to record. All right.
we have to vote on that.
Right. but
Yeah,
I
that's
need-
correct.
Right, but Counselor Stevenson, let me see the motion to turn it to an emergency.
I move the resolution 6722 because emergency
Time constraint.
the time constraint and the past one.
And I second that motion. I second. Okay. All right.
Okay. Counselor Stevenson,
Yeah.
Counselor Gowdy,
Yeah.
Counselor Smith,
Yes, yes.
Counselor Martin.
Yay.
Now I need a motion from Counselor Stevenson as the sponsor to sponsor and adopt
Sponsor move for the adoption. Go ahead.
as amended.
That's a minute.
I move the sponsor and adopt resolution.
As amended?
As amended.
Okay, thank you.
Need a second?
Second.
That's a
Counselor
second.
Gowdy? Counselor Stevenson,
Yeah.
Counselor Gowdy,
Yeah.
Counselor Smith,
Yes.
Counselor Martin,
Yay.
passes as an
Pass.
emergency.
Okay, go to the next one. Thank you.
Resolution number 6822, a resolution authorizing and directing the mayor to do all things necessary to participate in the Northeast Ohio Regional Sewer District Program for Wheeler Avenue Storm Sanitary Sewer System Reconstruction Project, including but not limited to executing any and all applications, agreements, and or contracts as may be required by the NEORSD in order to secure the grant funds in the amount of $366,936. That's the first read.
Do we need, is this, we don't need to do this right?
No.
Do we? Okay, let's move on. Okay. Go ahead, Ms. Stevenson, go ahead. Go ahead.
It's okay.
Go ahead.
All things necessary.
You wanna speak, you wanna speak on that here?
Refer to the law director.
Okay.
I think this is just, the word is just in case there may be things that could pop up that might not have been initially anticipated for, but maybe there's some new provision that needs to be added that requires the mayor to do something that wasn't initially anticipated, but we want to give him that power at the outset, so we don't have to scramble, come back to council and ask for more stuff, so you just allow him to do whatever he needs to accept.
Thank you. Is that okay, Ms. Stevenson? No, okay. Well, Well, what is the pleasure of the council?
It comes to council if it's something.
Well, since
There's a lot of stuff that you don't know what's on the.
Councilwoman Gowdy, since it's the first read, we can make it, we can address it for the. Okay, hold on a second, go ahead, please.
It should say all things necessary in order to secure the grant funding. If we get the grant, it comes back in front of you to accept it, right? If we are awarded the grant, back in front of you, council, to accept it. This allows me to do it. Now, what if this thing is time sensitive and all you said I could do is walk up Euclid Avenue? But I gotta actually walk up Noble to get the grant.
Hold it,
And I
hold it.
gotta come back to you to get permission to walk up Noble. And then we wind up not getting this grant. Wheeler Avenue, and you see it says reconstruction of that street, that street and Emily, they need reconstruction. I need to be able to do all things necessary, right? And trust me, it's just grants, right? Just grant, it's gonna come right back in front. Sometimes what you do is you put yourself in a small hole that you then can't get out of. So you need flexibility is what this gives you, right? And you need that. This is something that's similar to language you'll see across other municipalities.
Okay, Mr. Smith, go ahead, Councilman Smith.
Real brief, just for the record, this week,
Okay.
I would love for our mayor and everyone to do anything legally necessary to obtain us funding, grants, anything that can serve the health and the rights of the people. So if I do anything that we have to do in the legal violence to obtain these grants for the people.
Councilwoman Gowdy, go ahead.
Yeah, I understand that it's grants, and, we just need to know details of everything, stay, on task of what's actually going on, and so we can be communicating with each other, so if there's some difficult problems out there, you can't come and say, hey, this is something, and it shouldn't even be that, it should be that obstacle, stuff like a difficult thing to not to get.
The councilwoman in charge of property and contract. If you move this forward, and then at your next property and contracts meeting, have this on the agenda, we can get an update from Keisha there as to where this thing is at, what's going on with it, what are all the things necessary that have been done so far, right? And yes, we need to do all things legally necessary to bring in resources.
So,
Well, I'm at a point here. When I threw up the white flag last week, I'm just trying to move the city forward.
but I'm
That's
just
all.
saying, I'm
trying to
not
move
saying,
the
Mayor,
city.
I'm not saying that you could move the city forward, but we do need more details of what's actually, when he should come or whatever, you need to have a plan of what's going on before we even say yay or nay.
So council, understand what you're reading is to do all things necessary to go out and get these grants. So the one you just passed, the courts up on Superior, that's gonna top out at about 250, right? We just cut 50 out of it. Now, we're gonna look for some more funding. We're gonna come back to you with more funding, right? So that's the same thing with this. We're looking to get funding to support this. We're coming back to you once we get that funding.
But then we need to have a discussion with Keisha and.
I see you, Mr.
And my meeting.
Yes, so when we say yes, let's go
Yeah.
find the funding,
Yeah.
right? Then we'll go find the funding. And as we're working on it, we'll come back to you and give you updates. But if we have to come to you every time we think we found a potential source for this project,
So it's the same thing that the parking lot, you know, you get difficult. You gotta come back and. I just, yeah, so
Yes.
that's exactly what I'm.
yes, that was a good example. And see, this is saying, we're gonna go find it. Once we find it, We can update you as we're searching for it. We
Yes,
get
sir.
it, and then we'll come back to council to accept it. We'll come to the committee meeting, tell you where we're at, what we're working.
Okay, all right, in the full plan.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, Ms. Stevenson.
That sounds good, but my reality is a lot different in terms of grant making, because I did it for a living. So, I can recall 2 weeks ago that we accepted $2 million to give to Forest Hill Park out of the ARPA fund, so that they can start their process. This past weekend, I read an article that the council accepted $4 million. The article said the council got $2 million from the county, and the council gave their $2 million. This council only accepted $2 million. We never accepted the $2 million from the county. So the county money is floating around out here somewhere. And so that's why I'm asking for this to come back as it needs to come back to the process.
So your issue is with, still with the.
$4,000.
We get money. We
It's not
get
$4
money. Accept or see. Grant awards have never come across the table here. Never. We have not seen a grant award. We have not, since I've been sitting here, I have not seen a grant award. I've not seen a letter of acceptance. I've not seen, the additional recommendations or projects, activities that are required for us to meet certain things in these projects. This stuff doesn't come across the table. And so all I'm asking is to follow the chart, bring it back, so we know what's going on.
But the language, we're dealing with the language now, are we not? Do all things necessary, is that what? Yeah.
That's not the language in the chart.
You allow me to clarify with you.
All right.
So please, stay with me on it. Legislation that you passed as a council was to give $2 million to the metro parks
Right,
to take over the management of Forest Hill Park.
right.
Cuyahoga County, our counselors down there are gonna put in $2 million for the metro parks to manage our Forest Hill Park. That's $4 million. That money doesn't come to the city. So if you read it closely, it says that the city's not getting that money from the county. That's not what it said, right?
You
That's
submitted a
not
grant.
what it's. It was not a grant to the county. Not a grant to the county. The county is gonna put in $2 million. The metro parks is gonna put in $6 million. That brings the total funding to $10 million for the revitalization of Forest Hill Park. $2 million from the city of East Cleveland to the metro parks. $2 million from Cuyahoga County to the metro parks. The metro parks are gonna put in $6 million. If that's not how the article read, then it was a misprint in the article. But that is how the money is coming in, and that is where it's going.
And that is why we keep following the protocol.
I love protocol, but the grant was not to be free. It was to the metro parks.
That's why we need to stick with the protocol, so that we, this council, who is responsible for what goes on with the expenditure of the fund, knows what's going on, and that we're clear. When people come and ask us what is going on, we can now tell them. We have been left in a situation where people come and ask us information, we just have to tell them.
Well, I can
And to
tell,
avoid that, so we need to do things that according to the way it's done, according to the fire.
I chair contracts and property, and I can tell them where the money is actually going, because we come to these meetings all the time. We have gender review. We even have people to have presentations and all this. And they will not, have an excuse where the money is not going to be going if it's not here. I could see if the money wasn't here. The money is here. And we already went over this, we reviewed this so many times and half the time we don't be here. So, when we have our meetings, so, I'm just saying, I'm just being honest about the situation, because the main thing that we is ready to do is to change the city, to move it forward, because this grant money is only gonna last so long. We need to get on this, your personal thing, that how you feel about stuff, if you come to these meetings and if you sit in the chair, I cheer this, I cheer contracts and property. And I know for a fact that this money have to be a grant money and it have to go into the legal people. And two different people have two different, money in the pot. Even if it did came before us so many times, but you have to do the research or ask our clerk to give you the paperwork. We just wasting a lot of time. It's a lot of time being wasted. We've been over this over and over again, and I'm tired of going over something that we already know.
All right, so, this is still a first read.
Right, go to the next.
Yeah, and we got between now and 2 weeks from now, if you wanna make adjustments, wanna get rid of, to do, whatever.
Okay.
Okay, okay, but let's move on.
Ordinance number.
Right, I
16.
will say that, if we got $2 million for street replacement, we need to act on that. To put that off, just doesn't make any sense to me. This is my opinion, doesn't make any
And
sense.
it's in my ward,
Okay.
that's, and you know what, it's another thing, and that's in my ward.
$10 million to pay Euclid. Okay, then we had some problem, okay. So we're going back and forth, and you know, it just doesn't make any sense to hold it, it just doesn't make any sense. This is my opinion, I could be wrong. This is my opinion, go ahead, Mr. Please. Yeah. Goodness.
I'm pretty sure Councilman Gotti will have a contract property meeting in the near future, so we have plenty of time to discuss it. Several times before we came back.
Right,
Yes.
okay, let's move on to the next, let's move on to the next one. Be ready, we'll be ready to act on it, one way or the other.
Ordinance number 6922, a resolution authorizing the mayor and directing the mayor to do all things necessary to participate in the Northeast Ohio Regional Sewer District Program for the East Cleveland Sewer Infrastructure involving the target area multi-street sewer replacement phase 1 project, including but not limited to executing any and all applications, agreements, and or contracts as may be required by the Northeast Ohio Regional Sewer District in order to secure the grant funds in the amount of $2,722,725.
I want to say something about this, and I know it's the first read, but this is important legislation like the other one. We are blessed to be able to get this done, okay? Mayor, I'm gonna have you want to say something about this? Please.
So
People need to
I
know
would,
this.
I would invite all the councilors to come out to property and contract, and we're gonna talk in more detail about this. This is the new neighborhood. This is what we've been talking and working towards since I've been the mayor, right? And now it is upon us. We need to make sure we get over the finish line with this. One of the discussions we had with the sewer district and with the city of Cleveland, as those first streets on Cleveland, East Cleveland, but the entire street needs to be done. Who does the street? We just do East Cleveland and then Cleveland does the next two. So we're still finalizing that. We have a total here that we're going to move towards acquiring through grants and other funding, right? Having the sewer district as our partner on this is huge. You remember all of the work the sewer district did, right?
Yeah. This is $2 million.
This is beautiful, and I can't wait to your committee meeting to have Keisha there and the sewer district to talk more fully about it.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, I don't think we have anything else to say about this, Madam Clerk, let's move on.
Remarks and requests of the public, 3-minute time limit.
Thank you.
Speak on anything.
I agree with Councilman, one of the councilmen's here. I have never, ever seen legislation written, a resolution authorizing and directing the mayor to do all things necessary to participate in the Northeast.
So you don't like that language?
No, it should be written like this. A resolution authorizing the mayor to participate in the Northeast Ohio Regional District. The mayor. All things necessary, because all things necessary, I have never seen no legislation written like that, and I have been to other states and what have you. No legislation is written that way.
Okay, well, we're listening to you. Go ahead.
And it should be written, a resolution authorizing the mayor to participate in the Ohio Regional Sewer District. That's the way it should be written. And that's irrefutable.
All right.
I was at the meeting last week. And one of the councilmen, and I'll call the name normally, I don't do that. I'll call the name, Councilman Ernest Smith, directed the deputy clerk or whatever she is, to give me a copy of the resolution in reference to the cars that are being sold. And so he told her during the meeting, and he also told her at the meeting, because he said first he would run it off, and she told him no, that she would run it off. And so he told her again at the end of the meeting, write copy to Omaze. So thank you, Patricia Hobiak. I did get receive it tonight. I got a copy. But further, I received a letter from, and I need the time to do this, and which I had not, no one talked to me. Before you can do anything, well, let me just read this before I get to, I'll finish my comments before I read the letter. Anyway, so I assist, like I usually assist sometime the clerk here, turning off the lights or locking up the doors or whatever, because she has stuff in her hand to do this. And so I told the deputy clerk I would, turn the lights out or whatever. And so she said no or whatever. She was up on the table doing something. So anyway, we went to the office to get the copy as Mr. Councilman Smith had. Yes, went to the council's office to get the document, because she was going to run it off. And so in doing that, and she was, Behoviak, Councilor Behoviak was speaking with her, and I said, excuse me. And so she said, and recognized me. And I told her, I asked the clerk when she was going to run the copy off. And she said, don't you see I'm speaking? I'm talking, what have you. And then she told me, I said, you wait outside. That's the way you were yelling at me. And I said, who are you screaming at? Something went over me. I thought about what my foreparents went through when they had to go around to the back or couldn't go in office or whatever. I've been all over the United States, been in Washington, D.C., and nobody told me to wait outside. Never told me to wait outside, what have you. I've never been accosted like that. And I thought what my foreparents went through. And then she, well, I'm not going to go through all of the stuff, but then Behoviak asked her, Councilor Behoviak asked her for a copy. She told her no. And she said, and told me, and I asked her, I said, you going to run the copy off? She said no. And so Behoviak told me to just go, come on. And she ran out to the office, down to the police station, banging on the window. You would think somebody was behind her with a gun or somebody shooting. She was banging. So I walked on out the door and you came up, Mud. And so anyway, I said, You have 5 bosses. That's insubordination. She didn't follow the direction of Councilman Smith. She didn't follow the direction of Councilman Rehobiat. And she said, I only have 1 boss, and that's Nathan, your mind. I said, you have 5 bosses. 5 bosses. We elected 5 council people. You have 5 bosses. I only have 1, and that's you. I said, you have 5 bosses, and that is the norms here. That's the way council work. I'm not speaking from what I think, I'm speaking from what I know. And yes, he supervised the office to see whether they are there, they're doing their work, whatever the case may be. But when the other councils ask them to do something, they have that right to do so, and they have the right to follow them. I mean, do their what they ask them to do, because they are working for 5 councilmen, and those 5 councilmen are working for us. I'll read the letter. Thank you. Omaze, 1838, Van Buren. No, that's what they wrote. Somebody wrote to somebody wrote. Dear Mr. Mays, a complaint has been filed against you with the East Cleveland Prosecutor's Office by Patricia Parker, whoever that is, Assistant Clerk, Secretary of the East Cleveland City Council Office, regarding criminal trespassing in a public place. I'll just read the letter. Trespassing and menacing for refusing to leave council's office when asked to do so several times, i.e., I don't know what those acronyms stand for, telling her he is not leaving and being verbal abuse to her, causing her to fear for her safety. Jesus. Now, we take these matters serious in East Cleveland, and we will quickly issue a warrant for your arrest. If this behavior occur again, it will be seen as an act of aggression. We advise Mrs. Parker, a letter will be sent regarding this situation. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. Sincerely, Maxine Eberhard, whoever that is, Executive Assistant, City of East Cleveland Department of Law. Now, as I said before, what my foreparents went through and what our foreparents went through, telling me to go to the back, or telling me to go around to a window or what have you, the service, he couldn't come in or whatever. I've been to the White House, and I never had to stand in no hallway or whatever, don't come in here. I don't know where that came from. They feel this. And if that's kind of behavior and that's kind of people you hire, and that you do not teach them how to operate a public place, that you serve at the behest of the people, and we are your boss, and we never come in here screaming and hollering and telling you do this, do that, or the other. We speak to each other as human beings. And then she's gonna tell her, like she was, I mean, the person lying, when I was screaming and hollering, she was screaming and hollering. That's who was screaming and hollering. So you get both sides of a story before you come and write one side of a story. You try to get both sides. And that goes to whomever she went to and wrote up this mess. Now, there's 2 sides to a story, not one. And there's Mr. Smith sitting right here now. He is the one who told me when he brought the thing down and showed it to me like this. He said, I'm not going to get close to you. I said, stop acting silly. And he said, well, I'll make you one. And that's what he said to me. And he walked on back up here and he told her to make one. He told her at the beginning, she told him she would make it. he told her again at the end of the meeting. And if I'm lying, he is right here. I'm saying it to him. And he did tell her that.
Thank you. Come, young lady, how are you? What's your name?
You know, my name is Wanda Jacobs. You ask me that every time I stand up here.
Yes,
Okay, I want to complain about tonight's meeting. It is crazy to let that money go without doing something right now. It should have been an emergency meeting today on that money. I mean, we lost it last year of inefficiency. Same thing this year. This city council is in a dump. You got free money, get it. We need it.
Thank you, Ms. Jacobs. Thank you, Wanda.
Good evening, Counselor, Mayors, Mayor Brandon, and everyone. Omaze almost made me forget what I came for. Oh, okay, I'm trying not to take any more time. Congratulations, Mayor Brandon, for your meeting you had. The dinner was good.
Thank you.
That was that was very good.
What meeting was that?
The town hall meeting, the dinner meeting. Yes, 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 yes. It was very well attended. It was attended. It was refreshing to see so many citizens there, you know, for a change, you know. So, and the meal was good. Thank you. Also, the couple of things I want to mention before my 3 minutes are up.
Well, we're gonna give you actually 3, 4. We always give
Okay.
them maybe 10, so go ahead.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. I can't talk that long. One of the things I want to mention, and I regret I didn't get an opportunity to speak to the director at your meeting, Mayor Brandon, but I just want to know, what do I need to do to get a call back from that department or get an appointment? Because the housing paint program, all of that. You know, I have called numerous times. They told me it was on hold because number of things are on hold because of COVID. I understand that, you know, I can understand that. And then I was told that they would call me back in 48 hours or get back with me. I was told that one time. So, and I had planned to sit and talk to them at your meeting, but I was enjoying myself so much until I said, well, I just want to sort of put that aside and just enjoy the citizens and the food and what was going on there. Also, there was one item on the agenda that was not mentioned, Counselor, unless I didn't hear it. What was it? The 15 minutes by Black on Black update on a program. I didn't hear you mention that.
Right, we just skipped over because we knew.
Oh, okay, so they called and said they wouldn't be here. Okay, they didn't need an update. Okay, but publicly, I would like to request to see the proposal. And they told me I need to go to the law department, the proposal, as well as the legislation that was passed.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Not to interrupt you, I've asked them, you know, I've asked them from every third Tuesday, all the way through week, you give us a report on what they're doing. If you just getting started, need to be glad this is what we have to do. I'm really happy.
Okay, okay, all right. And as far as Forest Hills Park, the grant from Metro, or whatever the grant you were speaking of this evening, that just includes the East Cleveland sign? The
Yeah,
park,
Right.
just the East Cleveland area sign, not
East Cleveland.
not the part that,
The whole park is there.
is it the entire? Yeah, I know how far it goes. Yeah, yeah. So I hope they manage to do something with the lawn bowling. Sort of one of my pet peeves, you know, a lot of folks don't even know it exists,
Right.
but early on, that's where my family would meet all the time.
You know what, not to cut you off, a lot of people don't even know the park runs all the way off atmosphere.
Yeah,
It's stuff that I saw 2 weeks, ago. I didn't know, and I've been in the
Yeah.
city for years. I didn't know we had all that.
well, you didn't go on a tour of your whole city.
Okay.
No, but when I moved here, I wanted to be a part of everything that was in the city, back in the city, in the sixties. So, and there's a lot of good things in the city of East Cleveland. That's the only reason I remain. But there were a number of things I was gonna address, but I will not address them this evening. So I will save them for another time. But,
Thank you.
but congratulations on what you're doing, and we're thankful for what you do. But just try to stay calm and talk your turns.
Thank you.
Speak your turn.
Deputy Saeed? Yes, it is.
Who doesn't know me? But those who don't know me, I do have something to say. Okay, anyway, yes, Vida Said. I went as far as the resolutions, I think I agree with Omaze about saying participate, the other stuff. Understand that we want to be specific. And yes, it should say at least legally necessary. But I think it still serves the purpose by just saying participate, because it just brings a lot of question to all things necessary. But anyway, and I was gonna say that the way I would have worded that was already approved for resolution 33-622 was sell 3 as a complete lot. I think that sounds better, but it's already approved. That's okay. Now, concerning myself, I passed out a few flyers last time after hours of the meeting, so I'm going to express this flyer that I've been handing out. And I did, for those who remember, I did a peace march. And what happened after the peace march was something I think makes me feel good, and I'm ready for whatever happens after such appointment. So this flyer, which I'm gonna give it to you all again, if you want, it's in color this time. This flyer would be going out to 17,000 people whom I didn't reach with the original Peace March flyer. So this flyer would be, it says, messenger by divine appointment, Vida Amina Said, on Sunday, September 25th, 2022, upon visitation of an angel in her dream, a day after the glorious Peace March, that she fulfilled successfully alone despite dissension among marchers and despite cancellation abandonment by a co-organizer who initiated the march that she named. She was inspired by God through direction to read Psalm 100, Psalm 150, verse 6, how to do the march on the Sabbath, Exodus 20, verse 10. She intended to reach 17,000. She sang with a cardboard tube and a plastic serving tray for a drum, an original that came from her lungs at that moment. Some of the words, which are, quote, everyone who has breath, praise the Lord. People are dying, or our children are dying. Wake up, celebration time. Come on, we are going to celebrate the one who gave us the breath of life, which took place in East Cleveland, Ohio, 44112. And I got my picture on it. But after the 17,000 get reached, then I'm ready to do God's work. Anyhow, what came after that was I was at home, and then all of a sudden, seemed like someone was in my house. So I called the police on a 911 call. They came half an hour later. And when they came, they said, well, open the door. I said, well, my front door is, tripped because of some other situation, because they was telling me nobody broke in your house. Someone actually tripped my front door. And so now it's not able to open. For landlord yet, for certain reasons. And so then the side door was barricaded. So the side door was barricaded. only because my daughter, I called my daughter earlier, said, well, it seemed like my door was open twice today. She said, put something behind the door. So I did. I barricaded the door before this situation where someone could have been in my house. So then I told the police the only way they can get in is through the back. And then, you know, they may have some issues coming in. So, but I said, could you please maybe, you know, just surround the house and I'll try to make it out. If I don't come out, you know what happens. So they said, oh, we remember you said someone would come through your side door, and you know, they didn't, but they did. Someone did come through my side door before, you know, they just didn't believe me. And so they said, oh, we're leaving. So they said, well, you had a call, but I didn't believe them on that. And then they drove away. I said, so, well, before they drove away, I said, so you're just gonna leave me in potential danger in my house? You know, somebody could be in my house. You're gonna actually leave me, and somebody could be, I could be in danger. And they just left. So of course, I think you might have gotten into to you through, as I did speak to the mayor's brother. But after that, then he said some police, then he started doing some police reform with the new police chief. So, but anyway, that's not the first time I had issues with the police. Okay, I've got to a point where it's difficult for me to even want to call them sometimes when I know I could be in danger. So I know I seem like happy and grateful, but you know, I have been in a situation. I even talked to the prosecutor, and she's on something. So, you know, I tried to get, one time I said, well, I want somebody in out of my house. Can I get it expedited? And she basically ignored me. So, pardon me, the prosecutor, yes, the prosecutor. Yes, the prosecutor. So she probably don't remember that. Okay, yeah, I was trying to put somebody out of my house. But anyway, so just to say that, but guess what? Some came to me, what would you do in that situation? Because when I believe somebody was in my house, you know, came to me, what would I do in that situation? I said, oh, call on God. So I did, I called on God, you know, called on God. All that time that I was waiting on the police and everything. So, but anyway, after the police came, I got some assistance with a neighbor, rushed to my aid, and he checked the house and everything, something the police should have did. And then that next following morning, I found a condom wrapper and sperm on my door. Well, just think, if I didn't call on God, no telling what would happen. But of course, God, because I was ready to, if someone was going to kill me or whatever, I was ready to defend myself. And if I came to a point where I had to take their life for trying to take mine, I was ready for that.
Then where you coming up?
Can't top that.
Well, my name is Shirley Oldham. And the reason that I'm here is right now they're working on Savannah with the water line replacement. They've done Orinoco, and now they're on Savannah. And I have to say that they started on our street on last Monday. And from Hayden to Allegheny, they were finished. I know Orinoco, it took them about almost 2 weeks from Hayden to Allegheny. I said, maybe they were able to get the procedure down pat. So by the time they got to Savannah, they were not so long, and now they're on the other side of Allegheny. But my question is, with them doing the work, I've always said Savannah was an obstacle course. It's really an obstacle course now, because we already had hills and valleys and all of the 9 yards of it being so bad driving. Who is going to be responsible for at least trying to get that street, get us some kind of repaving or something done? because it's a mess. I'm just looking in front of my own house where the street was not bad, but since all that heavy equipment has been going down the street and where they had to do the trench where they now on the other side of that, there's cracks already there. So I know after a little bit, it's gonna be a whole lot worse. Plus, I will plan to get in touch with them, not only for that, but it's done damage to my car. My car is low, very low, that Ford Taurus. And whether anybody knew it or not, those Tauruses sit low to the ground. They put the hoses, the big round hoses, the opposite side of the street, they got the big ones, and then they've got the bumpers where people can go in their drive. My side of the street is the smaller ones, and then they put the bumpers underneath, which now raises my car up higher. So when I go over that, my car comes down. And it's been hitting that. And the undercarriage, if you went out with me, I could show you where it's already been started to come loose. So I do intend to get in touch with Terrace Construction. So somebody's gonna have to be responsible for that. But my really concern is now that they're doing it and the work is being done as to what's gonna happen with the street, because it is really, it's a real mess now. Mhm. Oh, okay.
Right.
Did you get my letter, huh?
No, I haven't got it.
I sent out basically a apology letter for the mess.
Oh, I didn't get it. Oh, he must have skipped mine. Because I have not received it. Okay, yeah, because I've talked to a couple of I talked to the one boss because I came home the other day and they had the backhoe in front of my drive and then they had a pile of gravel there and I couldn't get in. You know, I had to stop at Allegheny, so I got out and I talked to them and they did move, you know, told me it would take a little bit. So I just went up to Rose's and parked in the parking lot and waited, and they did do a good thing because they made that gravel where now when I go up in my drive, my car is not doing that when I come in and out. So I am happy with that because I did tell him, I have your number, whether you know it or not. I'll be getting in touch. Okay.
We're gonna let the mayor speak now, then the council. The mayor
Okay.
respond.
All right, stay here and sit.
Okay.
Oh,
Mayor,
okay.
As the council moves, the chief is working on. I don't want to make any promises
Mhm.
before. You know, get the great news that is awarded. The people who are doing the work over there will work with you best they can to make your life getting in and out of your driveway and your house as comfortable as you possible.
Mhm.
I will be more than happy, my office, to go talk to them in regards to getting my car here. Now, I know you talked to Keisha about those two streets. Did I miss something on that? No. Okay, so again, be patient.
Oh, I'm being patient.
Of that, I'm working on it,
Mhm.
and I will review with the car and get this instruction too.
I appreciate it. Yes, I'm out there and I've been talking to the people, you know, the different workers, and they've been very, you know, very pleasant, you know, haven't had to go off on anybody. So it's been good, but I did want to see if there was going to be anything done once they get finished to try to do something to the
So,
street.
pothole and pole packs, as you know, we're running now into the season, they can't.
Right.
They won't be able to do anything.
Right.
It is something we have discussed, we are searching for money to do something with that.
Mhm.
And when they get done, we will look to prepare for the winter season, cold patch.
All right. Thank you.
And to Mr. Muscle like that,
Yeah, go ahead.
if I'm wrong, at least the part that they put the new pipe in, they will have to resurface that.
So yes, you will get moved there,
Right.
right?
Well, it's
But
about
now-
2 feet, not like that.
Yeah, forget, even water has a really strange parameters on what they fix. So once that's done, we can come with a cold patch
Mhm.
to get some of the most, durable problems.
All right.
Ms. Odom, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Okay,
I'll be-
Okay, we still got the remarks.
Okay, so thank you. I'd like to thank everyone for coming out. Someone did mention the town hall, and for those counselors that weren't there, great event, well attended, felt good to be back. Elbow to elbow with the residents to give an update on what's going on in their city. And one of the things I really like is seeing a lot of residents within the talking about master plan 2003, talking about the target area plan in NOAA 2015, talking about the vision plan in 19. It's your plan. This is your new neighborhood. I know I often take credit for it. That's the official, I gotta take credit. Your plan. It's what you have said you wanted to see. So I thank everyone who attended, and that food mission barbecue was great. What? Yeah. We had over 200 some people there.
Yeah.
And then the next day, the leftovers were served to the people who come in for the Salvation Army services.
And if I knew that, I would came on back.
That's what. As you would have, so. In regards to the Metro Park. So. Cleveland Heights has asked over the years that they be included. And I would like to include them, and we're gonna try to include Cleveland Heights in. Not necessarily in our agreement, but in the overall agreement with the Metro Parks. Now, mind you, the park 100%, 25% of that park is in Cleveland Heights. 25%. 75% is in East Cleveland. If you've been to the Cleveland Heights Park, then you not need much work, right? But thereafter is the Metro Parks branding, management expertise, right? They're not after any rehab or revitalization dollars. Their park is nice, right? So 25% of the park, right? We got 75% of the park. But imagine the relationship that we get to form with Cleveland Heights, right? Now, we said it before, 2 million East Cleveland, 2 million county, 6 million Metro Parks. What they're estimating is that it's gonna take over $20 million to redo, which means we still gotta go raise, Metro Park still gotta go raise another 10+ million. Right? So there are people up in Cleveland Heights that may be feeling properly fine. Right? They trust me, they wanna be able to walk through Cleveland Heights in the East Cleveland Park, and come out at the duck pond, they wanna do all that as well. So they, thought is that we can ask them to help revitalize the entire, so that the Metro Park, that's what that's about. CDBG, I wish Ms. Walcott didn't leave, but for those that are still here, what I suggest is that with those programs, email that department, and CC me on that, then we can hold them accountable. Just so that we know, and we all are aware, CDBG and government programs were shut down for 2 solid years from the federal government because of COVID. So it's just this year, they started opening back up to actually do projects. So now, our department, which is 3 people, now they have to scramble around and now try to get these projects underway. So that's what's been the delay in that. But I always tell residents, best thing to do is to ask for an email. If you do email them, CC my office, me, so that I can see what's going on, keep me in the loop, and we'll get resolution to your concern regarding it. I Last thing, thank you for your kind words. Ladies and gentlemen, we all need to work together. We had a place, we are there. Have to work together. Have to work together. Period. Nate, and your meetings in there, we're working together. Look, all the fighting is what kept this city back for years and years. I think we turn a new leaf, these two. We start working together, we start getting stuff done. Stop being bad, being fear, holding each other down, holding the city. Look forward.
Thank you, thank you.
Can I
Yeah, I'll give you a few minutes, go ahead.
Concerning the letter that you received recently, the complaint did come to my office. And so for the benefit of you as well as anyone else on Zoom or anything else, as the mayor has often said, the city is on a soft close. So during business hours, anyone can come in, they can conduct their business all throughout the building. There are some areas that people are still not open to the public. And you may have to call someone and ask them to come and get you and bring you around where you need to be. After business hours, that door right outside of here, that glass door is on a timer and it locks. So no one who is not an employee or a counselor should technically be beyond that door. So on the evening that this takes place, no, I did not have a conversation with Mr. Mays about what happened, but there have been complaints in the past that documents were missing from the office, mail was missing from the council office. So at that point, it would seem that they were choosing to not have traffic going in and out of the councilor's office. So that's part of the reason for their doors. And there are cameras installed in the office to keep an eye on what's going on. So I did get an opportunity to review the video, and it did show Mr. Mays in the council office after business hours. So technically, even though I understand, Mr. Mays is a longtime resident of the city of East Cleveland, and he is a former council member.
Yes.
Technically, right now, he is not allowed after business hours unless he is being escorted by a counselor. And according to the video, he actually came in behind Ms. Parker. So that being said, at that point, technically, I could file a charge, but I don't want to do all of that. As the mayor said, trying to move the city forward, trying for everyone to work together. So we don't need all the infighting between the counselor, the council's office, the mayor, the administration, all of that. So rather than issue criminal charges, we send out a letter. There are different ways. We can file criminal charges, we can do litigation, or we can just send out a letter. The letter was just in an advisory capacity to say, hey, technically you're not really allowed in that area unless you're invited. And if you are asked to leave and you do not, by law, that is considered criminal trespass. So no charges were filed. So there was no need to go get a bunch of stories. I just wanted to be advisory. I'm not issuing any criminal charges. We're gonna move on from this incident.
Thank you very much. Okay. All right, Ms. Stevenson, you have the floor. No, maybe she has your turn. Ms. Stevenson, you have the floor. Council.
It's interesting to me how these rules pop up.
Nobody knows about it.
Nobody knows nothing until somebody told somebody to go back there. That hasn't happened, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. As far as the mail, some of the stuff that you all say is so interesting to me. As far as the mail being gone in the council office, that mail don't come up missing out that council office. That mail comes up missing from the mailman downstairs. That mail never hits that council office. Somebody is removing that mail downstairs. The council does not get invitations. I've received complaints, people asking me how come I didn't show up here, there, and everywhere, because we don't get the mail. The invitations do not come upstairs. Our mail does not come upstairs. There have been numerous times when I have had to ask the clerks to track down my claims. I can't even get them, and they're paid for by the city, supposed to come here to the city, and they don't show up.
These statements about this, that, and the third. About being in the office. And the person doesn't have any idea about your soft clothes, how it works. And come on. It's just ridiculous. I find a lot of this stuff very ridiculous. The constant, that goes on, behind people's back. It's just ridiculous.
I'm feeling old white.
And I would like to caution you all, everybody involved, what happened last time people start sending letters out to residents? That happened once before, and the fallout was not nice. What I would like to say about the $2 million is that there are situations where we have contracts. For example, Terrace Road Construction is the same construction company that is trying to get the $4 million. Okay, you're saying they're tearing up your car. Well, I need to know, and I need to solidify how that bid came into the city. And I have no documents that can do that. As soon as I get the documents and solidify how that bid came into the city, I'm fine with voting on it. The money's not going in. The money is right here. And so
Be gone on the 25th.
as soon as they give me the paper, they don't give me the paperwork. I just got balance from the engineer today when I walked in. And so I've been asking for the same thing over and over for as long as I've been sitting here, and it seems to me by now that if you have a bid come into the office or into the city, that those bid documents will be transferred to the town council, so the council can make an informed decision. And so there's a breakdown with that on a consistent basis. And until we get that vetted out, I gotta take my time. I can't. So
Yeah, but you shouldn't be losing no money though.
No,
you're not gonna lose anything.
right.
And the $2 million money, that's money that we already have. That's money that's in our session already. So, they just need to give us the dollar. That's all I have.
Thank you. Juanita Gotti?
I'd like to thank everybody for coming out. I'm glad that we are doing something to move our city forward. And far as the money being moved around or whatever, we have discussed this, and this is like the first read, but when money in, grant money is in, and we have a small little slide, because we don't agree on how it was presented. Money is money. You cannot let grant money go like it's water.
Exactly.
Again, this is not the first time. This is not the first time that we lost grant money. This is not the second time, because of how it was written or how it was worded or whatever. We can get that, pass that money, and then we talk about all that stuff later, you know? And I feel like all this money that's going through our city and people not passing it, then you just as bad as the next person on the outside talking about East Cleveland. I mean, I'm tired of people talking about our city, but we can do something about it. We can actually move this city forward. All we have to do is pass the money when it comes, and then we pass the legislation when it comes before us. And if you say yay, yay, nay, nay, we need to get our money back in our city, so this city could be ran right. It's looking crazy. I enjoyed myself at Mickey. You know, Mickey was a grand opening, the name thing, it was so nice. I mean, I missed the other part of the mayor's dinner or whatever, you know, but I mean, we is trying to do something, and everybody's saying they trying to help move the city forward, but yet you blocking money. How in the world could you block money? When you block money, you blocking us.
Yeah.
So we need to get down to the nitty gritty and start passing these legislation, passing this money. The grant money is grant money, so you can track that. So, our Ward 2 is getting fixed up, and I'm looking forward to a change in our city, a new face. We need a facelift in our city, so people can come in. You know, when they see something new, something happening, they want to stop in and see what's going on. So it starts with us, council, as much as the mayor. We just as much responsible as the mayor. When we stop blocking stuff, we would see the progress. So, far as Omaze, I understand that you have the letter and everything, but sometimes we be in the wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong attitude, you know? Sometimes people don't want you to, she said a couple of times to back off of her. You know, that's Miss Parker said that she wanted her space. You wouldn't give her space that she needed. That's why the letter is came, because of what she had wrote. And all these rules of not being, I mean, it's called respect. You know, don't be all up in the person's face or disrespecting them if you don't want the same treatment, you know? And I know that you will go at it if somebody like that, you know? The way she explained the way you did her, you know, it's called respect. And after hours, the doors is locked, rules do change. People change all the time. Things is getting bad into this world, you know. We don't know who's going to be trying to strike and who, you know, but we just looking for the safety part. If you look for the safety part, you won't have the conflict. So in order for that, you know, when after hours, you just don't go back there, you know. Just keep yourself safe. Keep yourself out of trouble. Because you don't want another day. You know. So, you know, so, as far as my colleagues, we did good tonight, passing these legislation and reading it, and we're gonna move the city forward. And no matter what, we live here, we need to start acting like we wanna be here, instead of just being here and don't do nothing. So that's all I have.
Thank you. Councilman Ernest Smith?
President, like my colleague, great clerk, mayor, Madam Law Director, thank you. I want to thank all 9 of our departments, but most importantly, I want to thank our viewers online and our great residents who took time out to join us tonight, see about your health, interest, rights, and needs. Mr. Anderson, Ms. Saeed, Ms. Walcott, Mr. May, Ms. Odom, Ms. Jacob, really, really appreciate you. I believe it's like the first day of snow, so you came out in the weather to again check on your health, interest, rights, and needs. We see the effects of not passing certain legislation as you look outside, as we leave here tonight and turn right, see the big hole in Euclid Avenue. And that's all I really have to say about that. As when one of our residents speak up, there's not much that I have to say. As our great neighbor said, same thing happened last year. I mean, I guess we go wait till the whole Euclid cave in, so certain individuals can say, "Oh, the mayor didn't do it." But it's in front of the council. The council didn't do it. So I leave that alone, and I end off with a positive note. As I said before, the thing I do love most about our council meetings is that the great residents of Ward 3 always come out. Every council meeting, as I look out. Well, for example, tonight, all residents are left, our Ward 3 residents. I'm so happy about that. Our next Ward 3 meeting / Ward 3 Appreciation Night will be October 26th. I know Ms. Odom, I told you it would be here in the courtroom, but it got bigger and better. So it'll be at McGregor, 6 p.m. Ward 3 Appreciation. I have a lot of surprises, so I don't want to give out the surprises, but I can say we will have information there, and then we're going to have a ice cream social, and therefore the residents can socialize with everyone you want to. The mayor has agreed to be there and socialize with the people. Council President, I haven't had a chance to ask Councilwoman Gabrielle or any of my other colleagues. I'm gonna keep this positive. They are invited to come tell the people why they don't like me bringing my baby to council meetings, because they said that's why they trying to recall me. They can answer why they keep lying on, why they keep filming on me saying that I'm human trafficking young girls when first of all, you insulting our police department, because I'd have been under the jail. At least I hope that they would have put me under the jail. But thank God the people don't go for those mistruths. So I invite any of those 6 people. Well, 5. One, I can't say Councilwoman Stevenson, she's with her, but she don't go out telling those. She don't go out telling those about me, but she shows up. She's involved in everything else. Period. We know the 6 people is real clear who the 6 players are. Only Dr. Pat, for real, she stands on everything. But as you can see, the rest of them, they don't show up here. But we gonna keep this positive. But I invite any of them to show up to our Ward 3 Appreciation Night and answer the people. And if they right, I ask the people to get on me. But they have to answer for this, because the people that trying to do the recall on Ward 3, they don't even live in Ward 3. They trying to disrupt what 2 of them do, but they are. They trying to disrupt what we have started. Of course, we're gonna come through bumps in the road. I do ask that there's people who are legitimately upset with me for any reason, feel free to talk to me in person. Maybe you're mad because maybe you used to be answering my phone for the first 4 years, and maybe you don't know that I'm going through things at the house with my daughter and her mother, as far as being sick and things of that nature. I understand that all residents don't know that. Ms. Walcott warned me 5 years ago about giving out my phone number instead of the clerk's number, because he told me the first time you don't answer, they're going to get upset if you have 2 clerks to answer the phone. So I'm going to explain that to the people. But and Ms. Walcott also advised me, urged me to start doing a little bit more You know, to all the people don't know about you sleeping in the tent on the corners where they shooting at. All the people don't know about everything you have done. So I don't like to do it, but Wednesday the 26th, I'm going to do a little and I'm going to show the people what I've been doing since these 6 people going around saying I don't do anything, and he brings his daughter to council meetings, and he's human trafficking young women and all this craziness. So again, I really want to thank the people of East Cleveland. I can't tell you what's all going on, because it's like a surprise. We are going to honor. We've lost a lot of residents in Ward 3 since I've been the council person. So we're going to honor some of those. It's going to be a continuous. You know, I believe I told you all that I want to add in new fresh things at our meeting. So down the line, we're going to be honoring our residents, giving flowers to residents while you all here, and also remembering our loved ones that we lost. So again, I want to thank you all. I look forward to continuing to serve the people of East Cleveland, God willing, and the people of East Cleveland. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Smith. I rise to speaking up. I won't take long. I just want to say that Ms. Odom, thank you for coming out. Ms. Jacob, thank you for your remarks. 2 million. What's going to happen to Forest Park if we haven't maintained in the last 30 years? It's going to change. The bathroom is going to do. Areas that we don't even utilize are going to be fixed. Metro Park is the best in the country. In the country, they're the best. We finally got there. We'll be able to utilize the park. The mayor said we have 75%, and Cleveland Heights said 25%. John D. Rockefeller made it that. So we need to appreciate that. I've been on this council for close to 30 years now, and we've had perks come and go. We have 2 professional clerks, the best, okay, the best. Tracy Peters and Patricia Parker. They're professional. They're not perfect, but they're professional. They make us look good. And people say, well, when we call the office, I answer the phone when they call the council. Because our clerks are told we have to respond to the public. Okay? We're here to serve the public. Things happen where We don't always communicate well, but we have to work together, what you're saying. A week ago, we had two great events. One was the Heart for Hunger at Mickey's. Fantastic, if you went. And then a few days later, at the Salvation Army, almost 300 people. I've never seen that at an event in East Cleveland. It was fantastic, everybody. It was fantastic. And people had a chance to hear what was good. It was a good thing. I don't want to be negative with anyone, but if we get $2 million, $3 million to fix streets, we need to be on that. Holding it back. And if there's some miscommunication, talk to someone about it, but to hold it up. In the book, I really said, exercise wisdom. Now, some of this negativity, it just gotta stop. We're at a crossroads right now to see these people. We're turning things around, moving in the right direction. We got developments going to take place between Lakeview and Superior, $120 million. And your ward, got it. It's going to happen. Put home. The Kyle County Land Bank. People are saying we're going to get it done. We're unique. We have a library, and I'm going to say this too. You didn't know this. And I didn't get the word out real well, but we had Black Vote Matters this last Wednesday. Okay, you know, they called me. They said, we want to do Cleveland. And when I told the brother Smith and Juanita Gotti and Steve, I said, do East Cleveland. And I helped them. And God was blessing us because we had good weather. I said, we're not going to do inside the library. We're going to do outside. People coming. They got books. The 1619 project. You need to read that. To show you what we've been through almost 250 years in this country. What we've been through. That's why. But we've got to work together. We make history. Those people were fleeing. They came from Atlanta, buses. Yeah. It was fantastic. And I got involved in this. Then I really got involved. Make phone calls, the crooks make phone calls. The people were coming. They were happy. They were happy. That's East Cleveland. They couldn't have been done in East Cleveland. They went to the Barackse for Cleveland, but they couldn't make it. But they called me. And I called the mayor and told them all about it. I didn't get everybody, but I did the best I can. I didn't know it was that. You should have seen the buses. I got a t-shirt for you. Some of you guys were there, weren't you? Yeah. So East Cleveland is unique. This man is doing a good job with what he had to deal with. Mayor, okay, think about me calling people and that man. It's kind of fast.
While you're looking for that, the only thing here that I'd like to say, comment on about Monday night's dinner. Dinner's not complete without a dessert. Remember that.
Thank you. So, you know what I'm asking is this. Baby say, Mark, you're basically positive and you do okay. Because I don't think negativity gets us in there. We couldn't function here if we didn't have two good clerks. Tracy Peters and Patricia Parker. They're not perfect, and neither am I. But we need to work together, that's what we need to do. We need to work together. What is unique about it? It's an active here, 95%. Judicial, you would say Omaze, legislative body, and administrative, we run it. We don't want to fail, we want to succeed. So it's not so much that you're voting for me, Stevenson, Gowdy, but no, we're voting what's going to impact our kids and grandkids 5 or 10 years from now. Now, it's all right. You got it. I'm feeling good. Feeling bullish. Smith is doing a good job. Gowdy's doing a good job. Stevenson's doing a good job. We have to work together. We're not gonna always compete. Omaze and Miss Parker, we'll work that out. That has to be worked out. It's no malice. It's happening. Okay, things happen. But we're moving forward. This hallway being renovated. We got the parking lot paved. We're going in the right direction. But we've got to work together. We're not gonna be. But there's people. Well, we can do this. Let it be written, so let it be spoken. Thank you.
Yeah.
Second, meeting adjourned. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Jacob, thank you. All right.
All right.
Ladies, thank you.